Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Russell Matthews here, and today I want to talk about and give you a warning about Wealthsimple Trade. Now, you've probably already heard of Wealthsimple Trade. It's one of the easiest ways to get started investing in Canada. It's got a great app, great user interface. It makes it so easy to do. But despite all of this ease of use and all of these pros to the Wealthsimple Trade platform, there is a problem, and we need to talk about it because in some senses, it can be a gateway to some poor financial decisions when it comes to investing here in Canada. So this video is for people who are already using Wealthsimple Trade, or even for people who are trying to make their mind up about whether or not they should even open up an account with Wealthsimple Trade, because we're going to be talking about what this problem is exactly, how it could be costing you some serious dollars, and a potential solution or fix for it. And just as a disclaimer, I do use Wealthsimple for a portion of my investment portfolio, but not all of it. And I generally like the company, and I'm always supportive of companies coming into Canada creating new Canadian jobs, especially in the financial technology or fintech industry. So I'm not trying to slam Wealthsimple here. I'm just trying to make sure that you, the user, have all the information that you need to have in order to make the right decision for you in your financial future. But what, you may ask, is the actual problem with Wealthsimple Trade here? Well, it has to do with fees. You may already know that Wealthsimple Trade advertises itself as a no-fee brokerage, not charging any commission on its trades. But whenever someone offers something up for free, it's always best to look in at the fine print because, of course, the company has to make money somehow, right? Let me show you this chart that shows you exactly where Wealthsimple is making its money. So this is the front page of Wealthsimple Trade's website, and you can see right here in big block letters, commission-free stock trading. And this is 100% true. Wealthsimple doesn't charge you any commissions when you buy or sell stocks, but there are some other fees, and we're going to get into that. But you see more in here, the advertising that they use, and one of their big points is commission-free trading, no account minimums. This is great. People can get started with the brokerage without having to have a minimum of like $1,000 to open up the account. But of course, when you see all of these positives, all these pluses, you need to look into how they're actually making the money and how they're competitive in the marketplace. So this is Wealthsimple's fee schedule, where they list all of the different fees that a customer could expect to pay when they're using the app. And you'll see a lot of zeros here. $0 for commission for listed US Canadian securities. Account opening, $0. Account closing, $0. Deposit, $0. Withdrawals, $0. Electronic statements, trade confirmation, $0. Inactive account, $0. These are all reasons that Wealthsimple is a great place to invest because it is very low fees in a lot of cases. But you might notice something down here. This is the foreign exchange fee and the corporate rate times 1.5%. Most brokerages charge around 2%. This is where they make their money on Wealthsimple Trade. Now let me explain exactly how this works. I'll give you my own take on this in a second, but let's first see what Wealthsimple has to say for itself when it comes to this. They say, you can view our full list of fees associated with normal day-to-day transactions here. The only trading fee we charge is a currency exchange fee for US dollar trades of the current market plus 1.5%. Most brokerages charge around 2% on top of the corporate rate for currency conversion. Now, that sounds a little bit complex, but it's really rather simple. So essentially what this means is that every time you want to buy a stock that's not listed in Canadian dollars, which, let's face it, there's a lot that aren't, or like you want to buy a US stock, you're going to be paying this currency conversion fee. And the way you calculate it is actually rather simple. I'll show you right here on my calculator. Let's say you're buying $1,000 worth of stock, so 1,000. Now, Wealthsimple, when you convert that to US dollars, this is $1,000 worth of Canadian stock. When you convert that to US dollars to buy any US stock, they're going to charge this conversion fee of 1.5%. So of your $1,000, you would end up with $15 in fees. Now, when it comes down to it, this isn't actually all that bad of a fee, especially given other brokerages charge around 2%. So not a huge problem that they're charging 1.5% when it comes to the currency conversion. So what is the actual problem? Well, the problem lies in something called settlement currency and the way that Wealthsimple doesn't actually provide a lot of flexibility for this. Let me explain. As of right now, Wealthsimple doesn't allow you to sell your US stocks and keep the proceeds from those stocks in US dollars. No, instead, when you sell a US dollar stock, it's going to automatically convert back and charge you this 1.5% again. So as an example, let's say you're a Canadian and you wanted to buy an American stock like Tesla. So you'd put your money, your Canadian dollars, into your Wealthsimple trade account, and then you'd buy that Tesla stock. Now, when you buy the stock, they're going to charge that 1.5% conversion fee. Okay, you've got the stock for a while. Maybe your plans change down the road and you want to, instead of holding Tesla, hold a different US stock, any sort of different US stock. You want to sell your Tesla and transition into this other stock. Now, in order to do this, you'd have to sell your Tesla on Wealthsimple, but they can't pay you in US dollars. They have to convert it back to Canadian. So they're going to charge you that 1.5% again. And so now you'll have less money in your Canadian account in Canadian dollars. And now you want to transition into that new stock. Well, you're going to have to pay that currency transaction fee, or rather the currency conversion fee again. So anytime you want to switch into a different US stock, you're going to be paying this fee over and over and over again, simply because Wealthsimple doesn't allow you to hold US dollars, just plain US dollars inside of the account. And this is how Wealthsimple Trade makes all of their money. Anytime you interact with a US stock at all, whether it be buying or selling, they're able to grab that 1.5% of the entire trade, of the entire sell or the entire buy. This is how they make their money. Now, don't get me wrong, Wealthsimple Trade is an absolutely fantastic brokerage, especially if you only want to buy Canadian stocks or ETFs, exchange traded funds. And for most people, I think that an exchange traded fund investment strategy is the best way to go, especially if you don't want to put time into researching individual stocks. So for most people who are investing, this isn't even going to be a problem. Now layer this on top of the fact that Wealthsimple is by far the easiest, most user-friendly and intuitive way to invest right here in Canada. Well, most people aren't going to have a problem with this, but the problem comes because Wealthsimple Trade, when you start off with ETFs and Canadian stocks, it can be a little bit of a gateway drug to investing in other companies which may not be Canadian and may not be included inside of an exchange traded fund. Remember, that's just a bunch of companies all wrapped up into one sort of stock that you can buy. And this is what I mean when I say that it's a little bit of a gateway drug. Now, I think it's a great decision to get started investing in Canadian stocks and ETFs with Wealthsimple. But when you do that and you start to see some gains, you might start getting more interested in investing, and it might be more and more attractive to get into some other US companies or some foreign companies that just aren't listed on Canadian stock exchanges. Now, if you're already using Wealthsimple Trade and it's so convenient for you to just buy US stocks, it's just by a click of a button, you may not recognize or may not even think about the added fees when you sort of switch into this type of investing. That's why I simply can't recommend Wealthsimple Trade for everyone in every single circumstance. If you're somebody who's looking to invest in these US stocks, foreign stocks, I just can't recommend Wealthsimple Trade. Instead, I'd have to recommend one of their largest competitors, Questrade. Now, I use both, and I use them for different portions of my portfolio, depending on which one's going to give me the lowest fees for what I'm trying to do. Now, let me show you how Questrade solves this problem of converting your money into US dollars and back into Canadian dollars. And this is how Questrade solves this problem of selling and buying US stocks and how you're going to have to convert your money constantly. They actually have this option here called currency settlement, and it gives you options in the way that you want your settlements to happen when you buy or sell a stock. So this just means you can choose whether or not you want your money to come back to you in US dollars or Canadian dollars. Now, I have it on the best setting here in my eyes. This is currency of transaction. This means if I'm selling a Canadian stock on Questrade, it's going to pay me back in Canadian dollars. If I'm selling a US stock on Questrade, it's going to pay me back in US dollars, no conversion fees. The only time Questrade charges conversion fees is when the conversion is actually necessary. So maybe you're putting Canadian dollars into your account and you want to convert that to buy a US stock. Now they're going to charge you a fee that's a little bit higher than Wealthsimple's at 1.5%. Questrade charges 2% on that currency conversion fee, but the flexibility that you get to not have to pay this fee every single time makes that 2% seem a little bit lower because you're simply not having to pay it as often. As for which brokerage I would recommend, well, it's really a personal decision and it's on a lot of different factors, like how active are you going to be inside of your portfolio? Are you going to be constantly buying and selling US stocks? Well, in that situation, Questrade might be the better bet. Even though it has a higher conversion fee, you simply don't have to pay the conversion fee very frequently. But if you're going to buy and hold, which is a strategy I really suggest in most cases, just buy and hold for the extreme long term, then Wealthsimple might be okay for this too, because you're paying a lower conversion fee and you're not really having to pay it very frequently, just when you buy it the first time and sell it the second time. But at the very least, I just wanted to make this issue apparent to you if you haven't already started thinking about it, so that you can find out and do your own calculations on which brokerage is actually best for you, especially if you're somebody who's already started with Wealthsimple and has simply, just because of its ease of use and how easy it is to start doing, started buying US stocks inside of their Wealthsimple without really thinking about how much these fees could be costing you. And I'm really curious about what you think. Which brokerage do you prefer? Do you use Wealthsimple? Do you use Questrade? Do you use something different? Let me know if I've missed anything, if I've gotten anything wrong. I'm trying to bring the most accurate information to you, so let me know down in the comments. I read every single comment and try to reply to as many as I possibly can. And also, if you haven't already done so, you can check out the links in the description where you can open up these accounts if you are interested in doing so. And if you haven't already done so, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. We cover all kinds of Canadian focused content right here on the channel. So if you want to see more Canadian content on YouTube, then feel free to support the channel by clicking all of those good buttons. And with all of that said, thank you so much for watching, everybody. I really hope this video has helped you out at least a little bit, and I'll see you next time. This channel is supported by viewers like you. Thanks, channel members.